Coach talked about what he perceived the best steps forward were during this week. What was, in your mind, the best thing about having that week and that you were able to focus on?
I think the best thing about this last week was kind of just that we didn't really have to prepare for anyone, whereas before every day was a 2-day preparation for the next team. And we kind of just got to take a step back and go back to the basics and work on our defense and physicality, the things that got us to this point. So, I mean, that was really effective this week.
How much was it about rebuilding confidence maybe this week and maybe getting some perspective, given, the last stretch was rough, but you guys still got 22 wins, you're still a pretty good team? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, this week also we spent a lot of time just doing individual skill work and getting a lot of shots up and stuff like that, stuff that we haven't been able to do all year just because we've been so focused on preparing for the next team ahead. So that's something that definitely helped a lot of our confidence, just getting shots up.
Andy? Do you feel like just kind of a little bit of time away from the court, not just the time you worked on specific drills and things, but being able to step back and take a breather, do you think that helped at all as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, it's pretty well known. It's a grind in the Big Ten every night. It's going to be really physical and it's tiring. So the fact that we got a couple days this week just to kind of sit back and relax a little bit, that definitely helped a lot of our bodies. And I know a few of our players are recovering from some small nagging injuries, so that's definitely going to help them too.
Mark?
Nick, you had a couple of games that were off, and you talked about how you rebounded the other day. Have you ever gone through that before, or has it always been, pretty? And do you have a method of trying to solve your way out of that?
Yeah, no, I've had this a lot where I go through a 5-game stretch where not a lot of shots are going in, but I think the main thing for me is just staying with what I know how to do, just going to practice every day and working hard. And as far as my jump shot goes, just shooting the same way every time. And I know sometimes I'm not going to make every shot, and that's life. There's nothing I can do about that, but I can control just trying to get that same release down every time, and hopefully that works out.
Chris?
Obviously, you got a lot to look forward to still. Does the kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel, the NCAA tournament, does that kind of fuel you through the hard times when your legs are getting a little heavy?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone's kind of looking ahead to the NCAA tournament a little bit, but in the meantime, we've got to focus on one game at a time right now. I know we have some tough games to finish out the Big Ten season, so right now we don't want to look too far ahead, just the Big Ten tournament. We want to focus Sunday against Illinois.
Terry, you were saying that when you're in those kind of slumps, it was the release that you have to try and get the same every time. Is that in your shooting form, your shot when you're off, it's because of the release?
Yeah, sometimes it's maybe I'm just not using enough legs or something like that. I mean, the stretch that I went through where I wasn't really hitting shots, I really don't know what it was. I think a lot of the shots I was taking, they looked good to me, and I thought they were going in, they just didn't go. So I just try to go into practice and try to make as many as I can and get my confidence up.
You guys talked a lot early in the year about playing with an edge, a chip on your shoulder, whatever it might be. Does some of that have to come back now, given you guys slipped a little bit? I mean, does some of that attitude come back, or did it really go anywhere?
Maybe a little bit, but I think the thing with us, we don't want to get down on ourselves or anything just because we lost a few games. We feel like we're the exact same team we were when they had us ranked #1. So we're going to come into every game with the same attitude, and we're just going to stay focused on winning games.
John? Tim is one of the more veteran guys out on the court. Would you say there's something that you've looked at him and been able to learn or garner about playing at this level this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think Bakari Alexander, the one thing he always tells me to learn about Tim is his preparation for every game. And Tim watches the most film out of anyone. He studies the scouting reports more than anyone on our team. So as far as preparation, that's something I'm definitely taking away from Tim. And just as far as leadership, that's something I can take away as well.